Item under Mayor's Communication, which is item 5A, that's related to Kensington. We did receive a little bit of additional funding this year from the state of Michigan related to Act 51. We wanted to take advantage of repairing this road. This is, I sent you the link, I don't know if everybody got it, but if you look at our PASER rating online, this road is classified in the very poor category, so it is obviously a high need. We've been pushing this kind of down the road for about 4 years now. My fear is that after closer evaluation, if we don't get to it this year, it will likely be in very, very bad shape in the spring. So,
Mayor, this is the road that they were trying to do at SAE for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
So, with that being said, they were trying to do it back then. Are we going to do the drains and just the road?
So it is on the capital improvement plan for the water lines, but they will be done in sequence when we get to it. So at some point, yes.
Alex,
Yeah.
it's on a special assessment, right?
Well, this was years back when we first got on council. They tried to come in front of us to do a special assessment district. So I guess now we're going to do it. We turned down this SAE last time. So.
Has the status of the road changed? It's always been a city road?
It's progressively gotten worse in the PASER ratings.
It's not a private drive or?
It's always been a city.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if you recall, one of the reasons for the delay 4 years ago was a lot of the roads were in much worse shape than they are today. We've done a lot of road work since then. So this does service what we would call a limited amount. It's on kind of a private it's not a private cul-de-sac, but it's like a dead end. It's a long road, and then it has like a turnaround at the end. So there's probably between 50 and 100 homes on it. So as we looked at the road, the priority of making the repairs to the city roads, this was on that map, but it didn't service a lot of residents, so we tried to delay it as long as we can.
And they were going to do a district to expedite it.
They didn't want to wait.
Right. So many years later, it's moved closer to the top of the list.
I don't think boys wanted to.
Yeah. That was the same. Charlie and I were knocking on.
Yeah.
And it is.
It's more like 40 houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is in pretty bad shape. There's sections of it that's in really bad shape, and then there's sections of it that's they're not
falling
terrible.
away.
Yeah. And then you've got the shoulders kind of eroding as well.
But yeah, both Kensington and Melody Lane are right off the Telegraph. They both kind of with dead end, but then so. Okay. Any questions? Additional questions for this item? Mayor, do you have anything else?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
This is 4A, so this is going to be on open business instead of business mayor communication.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Did you want me to? I don't know what this is. It's just solicitation request. You want us to do it under Mayor's Communication?
I think we were going to do that under Mayor's Communication as well.
That's fine.
So this is the motion to approve solicitation request from Health is Near to hold a cancer drive from November 16th through 17th and December 7th through the 8th. This was we'll be attached here, kind of what they're looking to raise money for. Any questions on this item? Okay. All right. Next, we will go to the regular agenda here. Item 6, the motion to approve DeWolf Associates, current vendor, to provide field training, officer training for an amount not to exceed $3,000. This for 18-19. Funded through Act 302 training funds. This one is for Chief Blair. Chief Blair?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, 4 FTOs. We have officers coming in constantly, a lot of retirements coming up, therefore the need for the new training officers.
Is there any questions for Chief Blair on this item? All right. Item 7 is a motion to approve the purchase of 3 battery backups from PCMG Inc., current vendor, for an amount not to exceed $2,192. Funded through the 2016 JAG Grant. This one, again, is for Chief Blair.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in case of power loss, it protects our entire computer system as well as maintaining the cameras. Power loss or power surge can be disastrous for our systems.
Any questions for Chief Blair on this item? All right. Next, we have item 8 is motion to approve the renewal of CodeRED. CodeRED Weather Warning Integrated Public Alert Warning Systems through ONSOLVE LLC. An amount not to exceed $12,500, funded through 2016 JAG Grant. Chief Blair.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, public alert warning system can be used for anything from weather to any type of natural disasters, any type of incident we may have to notify the public.
Okay. Any questions from council on this item? All right. Item number 9 is a motion to approve police services contract between the City of Taylor and Taylor Community Development Corporation, TCDC, for a term July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2021. This is for Mr. Couture.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For those of you who do not know, I'm actually the president of the Taylor Community Development Corporation, which is the governing body that like I said, is in charge of the Southwest apartments, and McKinley's management company that manages the apartments. But as the council may remember, back in December or January this past, there was approvals from TCDC and also from council related to the 2016 COPS grant. That what it does is beefs up the man-hours at the apartment complexes around the city, including the apartment complexes that TCDC own and control. So during a meeting with the police department and McKinley, going over operating procedures for that particular patrol, it was noted that the contract had expired. So what we're doing is we're bringing forth a new contract, which is being presented, and this contract was approved by the TCDC board at last night's board. So now we just need the city to ratify the contract. But just kind of keeping the contract rolling, and it mirrors the old contract that we had with TCDC, which set for the change of terms.
Okay. Is there any question of council on this item? Councilman Ryder.
I was just wondering, on the COPS grant, it was my understanding that did we assign 4 officers to the south end apartment down in that area, on the south end?
Through the chair, I have to defer that question to the chief.
Chief?
Yeah, Councilman, actually, yeah, the original grant was written up for 4. Unfortunately, we've only been able to put 2 there. Our manpower numbers have gone up and down, so if we're bringing in the 7 that we plan to bring in right now, we've made offers to, that'll allow us to add those 2 additional officers in there.
So the COPS grant right now, we're using a portion of it for only 2 officers at this time, correct?
That's correct.
So the rest of that money is sitting there waiting for us to assign additional personnel to the south end, correct?
Well,
We're not using the money.
yeah,
We were told for 4 people to go down there and work that south end, and I directly remember at that time asking if that's going to relieve us from assigning additional personnel on overtime through the TCDC. Does that overtime that they're going to be working now, at time and a half, does any of that go to their final average comp for retirement purposes?
if I could actually defer that to the police chief, I don't think there's any overtime to expect.
For the TCDC money?
That's correct.
There is, Councilman, there is 0 overtime being paid down there to anyone. There's no one receiving any overtime to work down there.
So what's the TCDC money needed for?
To offset the cost of having our officers employed. They're not paying any, these are regularly scheduled officers, their regularly scheduled day is split from the time down in the multi-housing districts throughout the city, as well as any other specialized events that pop up. So there's no overtime detail at all. It's been removed, eliminated by this program.
So the grant money will still be sitting there if we only use half of it, correct?
Well, the grant money will sit there until we draw it down based on the expenditures, but you gotta keep in mind, the agreement with the TCDC was reflected because it is a local match for this grant. It's not entirely funded for, the officers are not entirely funded with the grant, so that's what the TCDC agreement was, is to kind of help supplement that local match for the.
So the COPS, so explain the COPS grant to me then. The COPS grant was for what? How much? Was that a matching fund?
I can't tell you the exact numbers right now. Chief, do you remember the exact
I don't know
numbers?
the exact numbers, but Jason is correct. We pay a portion of it. And each year, the amount that we pay goes higher and higher. It was I believe, a 4-year grant for the 4 officers, but it did not, the COPS grant did not cover that entire cost. There was a substantial amount that the city was on the hook for, and this is helping us to fund this detail, not costing any additional money, not creating an overtime detail as we had used in the years prior to manage the crime prevention down there.
I think there's a match each year that goes down, and then I think there's a 4-year commitment, but the grant is only paid over 3 years, and we're responsible
for the last
That-
year.
For 100% of the last year too, so
75.
it's an increasing amount that instead of us paying is gonna be offset by TCDC.
Do we fund TCDC? Sid?
The city?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. TCDC is funded through the rents that are charged for the apartment complex.
Who owns the apartment complex?
The TCDC owns the apartment complex.
Which basically falls under
Housing Commission.
the city?
The city
Thank you.
council appoints Housing Commission appoints TCDC.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any additional questions?